This dish has its beginnings in Austria. It's perfect as a treat after a day skiing down the mountains or shopping at all the Christmas markets during the holiday season. The original recipe contained raisins, but now there's a whole list of toppings you can add. We're exploring the history and origins of Kaiserschmarrn. I'm your host, Glenn Warren, and welcome to another serving of Seasons Eatings, the podcast which explores the history and origins of your favorite Christmas foods. Seasons Eatings can be found wherever you download your favorite podcasts. Seasons Eatings is also found on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Blue Sky. If you love the show, then I humbly ask you to share this podcast with someone you think would love to hear more about the history of Christmas and the foods which shape the holiday we love so much. If you want to give me suggestions for future episodes, just email me at seasonseatingspodcast@gmail.com. All the links can be found in the show notes at seasonseatingspodcast.com. It's the holiday season, and you've been shopping in the Christmas markets. You're enjoying the wonderful holiday lights, the music, and the warm smells of cinnamon and gingerbread, so you want to give yourself a treat. You stop into a nearby shop and pick up some Kaiserschmarrn. Kaiserschmarrn is a light, caramelized pancake made from a sweet batter using flour, eggs, sugar, salt, and milk, and then fried in butter. And the great thing is you can enjoy Kaiserschmarrn at any time of the day. It's enjoyed for breakfast, lunch, brunch, or dessert. It's a very versatile and filling dish that's popular in Austrian and Bavarian cafes, especially as a main course for lunch, a hearty snack, or a classic dessert. It can be eaten as a filling lunch, especially in the Austrian Alps, where it's common to have it as a main course after outdoor activities like skiing or hiking. Some people enjoy it as a sweet start to the day, similar to other pancake dishes. This pancake-like dessert is shredded using 2 forks during the frying, and usually sprinkled with powdered sugar and then served hot with apple or plum sauce or various fruit compotes, including plum, lingonberry, strawberry, or apple. The name Kaiserschmarrn is a compound of the 2 words Kaiser, meaning emperor, and Schmarrn, meaning a scramble or a mess. Schmarrn is also a colloquialism used in Austria and Bavaria to mean trifle, mismash, rubbish, or nonsense. The word Schmarrn can be related to Scharn, meaning to scrape, and Schmieren, meaning to smear. Now, the history of Kaiserschmarrn is probably more apocryphal than actual reality, but the story is interesting altogether. So there's a few different tales, each intricately linked to the Emperor Franz Joseph I of Austria, who reigned a beloved monarch among the Austrians. Franz Joseph I, or Franz Joseph I, was the Emperor of Austria, the King of Hungary, and the ruler of other states of the Habsburg monarchy from the 2nd of December from 1848 until his death in 1916. But before we get into the stories, the original Schmarrn was made way before Joseph, the Emperor, was in reign. It's basically a peasant food because it's made from very simple ingredients. You have eggs, flour, sugar, a little bit of milk, and that's about it. And most farmers would have those. So they have cows, chickens, so have these things on the ready. And it's been basically confirmed that Schmarrn is a poor man's food, a peasant food, and sometimes just made with milk and flour. The Kaiserschmarrn, which came into favor, obviously, when the Kaiser was in rule, is a more fancy one made with cream and butter and a few other ingredients, which obviously the peasants may not have had access to. The original Kaiserschmarrn was made in a rein, which is a skillet or a frying pan with 3 legs. And it's made over an open fire. The earliest written recipe I found was from an 1849 cookbook called The Experienced Viennese Pastry Chef, where the schmarrn is baked in a pan with a closed lid and coals on top, kind of like a Dutch oven. So there's obviously various different ways of cooking the schmarrn. You could either have it as an open skillet, or bake it in the oven afterwards, or bake it in a Dutch oven, or bake it in this 3-legged sort of pan over an open fire. But the first story of the Kaiserschmarrn coming into favor recounts that Emperor Joseph's consort, Empress Elizabeth of Bavaria, also known as Sisi, was very strict about maintaining her figure. So one day, the Empress Elizabeth instructed her chef to prepare a light dessert for her. And the chef prepared a pancake. So he tore it into pieces and sprinkled it with a little bit of icing sugar. And however, because it was still a bit sweet, she declared the dessert too rich and sweet for her, and she refused to eat it. But obviously, the emperor was nearby, and who was very fond of a little bit of sugar every once in a while, and he became a little bit of annoyed with his consort's excessive obsession with maintaining her figure, and he exclaimed, "Now let me see what schmarrn our chef has cooked up," roughly translating to what nonsense or what mess the chef has made this time. And he tasted it, and he loved it, and finished the entire plate. Over time, this dessert became known as a Kaiserschmarrn, which roughly translates to emperor's mess. Another tale for the Kaiserschmarrn suggests that Emperor Joseph and his wife stopped at a hotel while they were traveling through the Alps. The hotel owner, eager to welcome this royal family, instructed the chef to prepare a dessert. The chef initially wanted to make French crepes because he knew that this was a favorite of the emperor. But he made a slight mistake, and several of the crepe pancakes broke. And instead of throwing it out and starting over, he salvaged what he had left and improvised by tearing the remaining pancakes into pieces, dusting them with icing sugar, and topping them with various fruits, often plums. And then when served, the emperor was impressed, delighted, and exclaimed, "Schmarrn," as he was known for his good humor. From that day on, the shredded pancake is called the Kaiserschmarrn. And now finally, the final story that this may be attributed to posits that the emperor herself actually went into the kitchen one day and attempted to make this pancake dessert. However, because she wasn't a trained chef, she wasn't very skilled in flipping them, and so she decided to tear the pancakes up into pieces, sprinkle them with a little bit of sugar, and serve them to Emperor Joseph, who obviously enjoyed them. So, nevertheless, despite the royal anecdotes, the true origin of Kaiserschmarrn is believed to have been a recipe dating back to the Middle Ages, made from readily available basic ingredients. Over time, it evolved into the popular dessert we know today, with the addition of other ingredients such as raisins, which are often soaked in rum, nuts, various fruits like apples, and is commonly now served with a fruit compote, usually plum compote or stewed apples. For the more sort of classic preparation, you can serve a Kaiserschmarrn on a large plate dusted with powdered sugar. and alongside a serving of the plum compote. Other accompaniments include applesauce, lingonberry jam, a berry compote, which gives you a nice tang to accompany the sweet sugar pancake. Some modern twists even include a little bit of chocolate shavings or some almond slivers for added texture, elevating both the flavor and the appearance. And for an extra indulgence, especially during the holidays, you can add a drizzle of warm caramel over top or a splash of rum in the fruit compote. The result is a fairly versatile dish that works just as well for a comforting brunch treat as it does for a sweet final course for any Viennese meal. Beyond its delicious taste, though, the Kaiserschmarrn holds a significant cultural importance in Austria and neighboring regions like southern Germany and the Alps. It's often enjoyed during ski holidays, as the Kaiserschmarrn is an excellent dish for providing warmth and energy after skiing in the cold weather, and it's typically served with a hot coffee or tea, making it a satisfying dessert that appeals to sweet lovers worldwide. The Kaiserschmarrn is more than just a pancake. It's a symbol of Austria's history and rich culinary heritage. We'll discuss the technique of making the Kaiserschmarrn after the break.
It's Christmas!
Hello, this is Adam from Merry Britsmas. I am a Christmas fanatic from the UK who thinks that the world needs to know more about the traditions, telly and music that helps make a British Christmas really festive. I look at everything from mince pies to Boxing Day to Wham to Slade to the Royal Family to Doctor Who. If you want to find out more about a British Christmas, or you are British and want a hit of nostalgia, check me out at Merry Britsmas.
An happy blooming Christmas to you and all.
What do you like about Christmas? The music, the movies, the traditions, the food, the history, all of the above? Then the Can't Wait for Christmas podcast is for you. Tune in every month to hear a marginally successful stand-up comedian dig into topics like Charlie Brown Christmas, Bing Crosby, Scrooge, A Christmas Carol, Jingle Bells, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, The Christmas Truce of World War I,
Die Hard, Bethlehem, Gift of the Magi, Haunted Mansion Holiday, Andy Williams, Christmas Lights, Nativity Scenes, Nat King Cole, Before Christmas, Toys R Us, Silent Night, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Miracle on 24th Street, 12 Days of Christmas, The Christmas Tree.
Actually, it's going to take way too long to cover all the stuff we've talked about. Just join us at Can't Wait for Christmas Pod on the 25th of every month for the Can't Wait for Christmas podcast, where our motto is, keep laughing all the way.
While most people only think of having a pancake as a breakfast meal, Kaiserschmarrn is so versatile you can have that any time of the day. It can be a main course or even a dessert. It could be enjoyed after a lovely day skiing on the Alps. And of course, enjoyed during the holidays. Because the basis of this dish derives from simple ingredients, and it's very easy to prepare. So you're going to need some eggs, flour, milk, a little bit of butter, and maybe some raisins. That's for the original recipe, but you have to soak your raisins first to fatten them up. Easily done if you soak them in rum the night before, or if you haven't got time, if you forgot about doing it the night before, just soak them in, put the raisins in a saucepan, add the rum, and heat them through for about 5 minutes, and let them sit in the warm liquid for a while before you add them to the Kaiserschmarrn. Oh, and before you do, just drain out the rum afterwards. So just make it the pancake just a little less wet. So in a large mixing bowl, you're going to beat together some egg yolks, milk, butter, sugar, flour, salt, lemon zest, and a little bit of vanilla. Now in a separate bowl, a very clean bowl, you're going to have the egg whites. Egg whites you're going to beat until you have these soft peaks. Now before you beat them up, make sure there are no yolks, there's no fat whatsoever in the egg whites, or you will not get anything happening. I've made that mistake many times when beating egg whites. The easiest way is to make sure you have a spotlessly clean bowl, or if you're lucky enough to have a dishwasher, top rack of the dishwasher, right after it's finished its cycle, take the bowl out and let it air dry so there's no moisture. There is absolutely nothing left in that bowl besides egg whites. So you beat the egg whites until you have these soft peaks. Now, it's easy to do this by hand with an electric mixer, or you can do it in your stand mixer with the whisk attachment. It doesn't take very long for the stiff peaks to form, because especially with the stand mixer, and so you should keep an easy eye on it. Now you can get away with stiff peaks for this recipe, or soft peaks, but soft peaks are a little bit better. That is, when you take the whisk out of the egg whites, there's a little bit of a peak and it slowly starts to turn down, or sort of turn over, like probably in like 3 or 4 seconds the top of the peak kind of bends down. Now, as you're trying to get as much air into the egg whites as possible, basically. Now that you've made these soft peaks, take about a quarter or a third of the egg whites and mix it into the batter. Now, don't mix it in quickly, just kind of fold it in, so you're just incorporating the batter as a little bit, getting it lighter with the egg whites. And once that's mixed in, you can add the rest of the egg whites to the batter and carefully fold it in. So you don't want to mix it too hard. You don't want to deflate the batter. You don't want any of that lovely air that you've worked so hard to get into the egg whites. You want that to keep the shape of inside, and you want the batter to be light and fluffy. So now you get your oven-safe pan and melt the butter in a large frying pan, or it's also good in a Dutch oven, but a large frying pan or even a nice iron skillet would work. Once the butter is melted, to pour the batter into the pan, drain the raisins from the rum and sprinkle them over. I'd pat them dry with a paper towel, and then sprinkle the mixture sprinkle the raisins over the batter, and cook over a medium-low heat for about 5 minutes until the mixture is a golden brown underneath. So finally, when the batter is about a nice golden brown, remove from the heat, sprinkle in the almonds, and then transfer to a hot oven. A hot oven is probably about 425 degrees or 220 Celsius. So that is fairly warm for an oven, at least for this pancake. So you could cook this in the hot oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. Keep an eye on it, so you don't want to burn any of the batter. So you want the batter to be nice golden brown on top. Now, once this is done, you remove it from the oven and take a fork and tear the batter by moving the forks crossways from each other, and tear the batter into small bite-sized pieces. Once it's broken up into these sort of 1-2 inch size pieces, sprinkle them with a little bit of icing sugar and return the pan to the top of the stove. So you want to basically fry them over the medium heat until the sugar has completely caramelized, turning the pieces over and over with your fork or a ladle until the sugar falls to the bottom so they don't burn. Divide into 3 or 4 plates, dust with a little more icing sugar, and serve with some stewed apples or a nice plum compote or any stewed fruit that you have on hand, and can be eaten warm or even at room temperature. I think preferably warm is best, because you get that nice warmth from the stewed fruit and from the Kaiserschmarrn, and the caramelization would be wonderful as a warm dessert. And if you want a quick recipe for a plum compote, one of the desserts served with a Kaiserschmarrn. You take basically about a pound of plums, cut them into quarters or eighths, add a third of a cup of sugar, a quarter cup of water, a little bit of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of cloves, or sort of an eighth of a teaspoon of cloves. Don't do a teaspoon, way too much. Put them over medium heat in a saucepan and cook them until the fruit is kind of broken down and gives you a nice sauce. Tender enough so you can break a piece in half with the back of your spoon. So about 20-25 minutes. And then stir in about a juice of a half a lemon, so tablespoon or so. And then pull it aside and let it cool, and it'll thicken a bit as it cools. Plums are traditional in Austria to serve with this dessert, as are apples, but any stewed fruit would be great. So for the next holiday season, why not whip up this beautiful, elegant, simple dessert and relax, because even if you mess it up, that's how it's made. So you can enjoy this anyway during the holiday season. I'm Glenn Warren, and thank you for listening to this serving of Seasons Eatings. Seasons Eatings is available wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Please, if you can leave a review about the show so we can spread the Christmas cheer. If you let me know you've left a review, I'll send you a Seasons Eatings sticker as a personal thank you. And also, I would love to hear from you. Send me an email at seasonseatingspodcast@gmail.com to let me know how you like the show, suggestions for a future episode, or just say hi. And I know that we all get busy, so sharing this podcast with someone you know who loves Christmas would be a big help. And if you're feeling extra generous this holiday season, you can buy me an eggnog. Head on over to seasonseatingspodcast.com and click on the little cup in the corner. Each small donation helps with the daily running of the podcast and is greatly appreciated. All music for Seasons Eatings is used under the Creative Commons